Hey, what's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to show you 30 tips and tricks that you can do with your Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra. To navigate on this tablet, by default, we get these navigation buttons at the bottom of the display. But you can change them to gesture-based navigation as well. To do this, go in Settings, then in Display, and here select Navigation Bar. Here you can choose between buttons or swipe gestures. You can also change the sequence of buttons and also set them to appear on the right or left side for easy one-hand use. When it comes to gestures, there are two types of gesture controls. You can swipe up from the bottom of the display to go home and back, or you can swipe up from the bottom of the display to go home and swipe from right or left edge of the display to go back. I personally really like it because it allows me to freely control navigation on this massive display instead of being confined to the three buttons at the bottom of the display. It is also a good idea to configure the edge panels on your Tab S8 Ultra because on such a big display, edge panels make it easier to launch apps quickly and carry out certain functions. To do this, go in Settings, then in Display, and here go in Edge Panels. Here you can select from different types of panels like Apps, Smart Select, Live Messages, Contacts, Tools, etc. You can also change the handle position, its color, size, and transparency. Once done, you can access these panels anytime by swiping the panel bar visible on the display and scroll through its contents. It also lets you to edit apps and functions that you want to keep in the edge panels and access them quickly whenever you want. Next up, by default, we get this media page if we scroll to the left of the home screen. Now here you can choose between two options: Google Discover or Samsung Free. Samsung Free is a Samsung's news and entertainment hub. You can see live TV here through Samsung TV, play instant games, and read latest news. I personally don't like having this page here, so I've turned the whole thing off, and you can do that simply by toggling it off while you are in the home screen editing mode. But if you do like to stay on top of news and things happening around the world, you can choose to keep it here. On Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra, we get this notch at the top. Now, some people might be okay with it, while others may not like it too much. So there is an easy way to get rid of it. And because we get a huge 14.6-inch display here, it won't make much of a difference. Here is how to do this. First, go in Settings, then in Display, and go in Full Screen Apps. And here you can select individual apps where you can hide the notch at the top and not have to worry about it. For me, it didn't make much of a difference even with or without the notch, because after a while of use, I stopped noticing it, and even if I hide it, I'm always using Tab S8 Ultra in horizontal orientation, so having slightly bigger bezel at the top doesn't bother me. One of the best things about this tablet is that it ships with S Pen in the box. You don't have to purchase it separately. As you would be using S Pen regularly, one of the most important things to set up is what happens as soon as you remove your S Pen from its attachment at the back of the tablet. To do that, go in Settings, then in Advanced Features, and here go in S Pen. Scroll down to Removal Settings, select when S Pen is removed, and it will bring up three options: Open Air Command, Create Note, and Do Nothing. You can select whether you want to open the Notes app and take a note as soon as you remove the S Pen, or you can choose to bring up the Air Command menu. Since you will be using S Pen quite a bit on this tablet, it's important to set this up right away. There is also this excellent S Pen safety feature, which if you accidentally leave it behind, your tablet will notify you that S Pen is not attached. This simple feature can save you unnecessary headache and money. Tab S8 Ultra is one of the best devices to consume media on, and it comes with very good quad stereo speakers. But there is also an option to make the experience even better, as it features Dolby Atmos support. To do this, go in Settings, then in Sound and Vibration, and here go in Sound Quality and Effects. Toggle on Dolby Atmos if it isn't already on, and here you will see different profiles for movie, music, and voice. And each one focuses on its primary objective to bring the best experience forward. You can choose the profile according to what you plan on doing with the tablet. You can also set it to auto mode, which will automatically optimize the experience according to your usage. There is also Dolby Atmos support for gaming, which will optimize the sound automatically when you are playing a game on it. By default, the side key is programmed to launch Bixby when you long press it, but you can change it to open the power off menu. To do this, go in Settings, then in Advanced Features, and here go in Side key. You will see two options here for double press and press and hold. By default, double press is set to launch the camera, but it also lets you to select any other app to launch by double pressing the side key. Then you can also change the press and hold to launch power off menu instead of waking Bixby. However, if you choose to keep it at Bixby, it also shows you the tutorial about the ways you can bring up the power off menu. Moving on, Tab S8 Ultra comes with a wide angle front camera, and the place where it is located is also perfect. so it can be used horizontally, like a laptop or media consumption device. The chances are that you will be spending a good amount of time making video calls as well, so there are some pretty interesting features to help you with this. First, go in settings, then in advanced features, and here go in video call effects. Here you can select default background colors and even add background images from your gallery. These features help you to hide your background for privacy reasons. You will also see all the supported apps installed on your Tab Asset Ultra here. So Zoom and Google Duo already support this feature. However, WhatsApp is missing for now. Hopefully, this support for WhatsApp will come in future as well. Next feature that you should look into is creating app pairs on your Tab Asset Ultra. App pairs take the advantage of the multi-window feature and will allow you to launch multiple apps together at the same time. It is a very handy feature to use and utilizes the screen real estate of this tablet to its maximum. So here is how you can create app pairs. You can do this for 2 or even 3 apps. First, you have to launch apps in multi-window. Then tap on this icon in the middle and then tap on the smaller icon. This will create a new app pair which will move to the Edge panel, and that is where these app pairs will reside and can be launched from. So to access the app pairs, open the Edge panel and bring up the apps panel. You will see all your app pairs here. Simply tapping on these app pairs will launch all the apps in the pair together in multi-window. Next, I want to show you one very important feature that will save you a lot of battery on your Tab Asset Ultra. It comes with a massive 11,200 mAh battery, which on paper is a lot, but it also has a massive display with 120Hz refresh rate and HDR10+, and all of this takes its toll on battery life. So it is always a good idea to take measures to get the best out of battery life on this tablet. To do this, go in settings and then go in battery and device care, and here go in battery. Now select background usage limits and toggle on put unused apps to sleep. Below this you will see 3 categories: sleeping apps, deep sleeping apps, and never sleeping apps. You can go in each of these categories and manually add apps to them. This will ensure that your battery resources are available to the apps you use most, instead of being drained by the apps that sit idly in your app drawer in the background and only get used once or twice in days. If you have ever used a Samsung phone, then chances are you already know about the Edge panels. This feature has been on Samsung phones for eternity now, but on this tablet it goes one step further in being super useful and actually makes more sense using this vast screen. There is actually a way to pin the panel's app on the display permanently. You can have access to your most used apps all the time. So to activate it, first you have to go to advanced features and settings and then go in labs. Here you will see this option called pin your favorite apps. Toggle it on. Once you've done it, now go in Edge panels and you will see this new option to pin it on screen. Tap on it and now you will see that the Edge panel is placed on the screen. You can swipe up and down to access more apps and app pairs. And there is this toggle option here to switch between panels mode and pin mode. This puts your favorite apps and app pairs right at your fingertips and allow you to launch them quickly from anywhere at any time. Tab Asset Ultra comes with 12 GB of RAM, which is a lot for normal day-to-day use. However, if you feel that you need more RAM because you want more apps to stay open in the background, there is the option to increase the RAM on your tablet. And to do this, you need to go into settings and then in battery and device care. Here go in memory and you will see this option called RAM Plus. Tap on it and you will see that it allows you to double the amount of RAM available for your background apps. You can also read how exactly this works, but the simple fact of the matter is that if you have a lot of apps installed on this tablet and you want them to stay open in the background, you have a virtual memory available here that you can increase to help yourself with this issue. Tab Asset Ultra comes with a massive 11,200 mAh battery, and the best time to charge it is usually at night. But this practice is known to deteriorate the battery health in the long term. So did you know that there is a way which lets you to protect the battery health of this tablet? Well, there is, and to turn this feature on, go to the battery and device care, then in battery and then in more battery settings. Here you will see the last option, which is to protect the battery. Toggle it on, and what it will do is that it will limit the charging to 85%, and once that limit is reached, it will pause the charging. This protects the battery against degradation, and over time you will be able to enjoy longer battery life for months and years to come. Another really cool feature is Assistant menu. It puts all the important controls of your tablet in one place and actually makes an excellent companion for a tablet as big as this. So here you can see that it lives on the screen. You can tap to expand it and it will give you navigation and volume controls, a button for the screenshot, turn off the screen, pull down a notification panel, and bring up power off menu. One of my favorite controls is the cursor button, which gives you a cursor pad and an actual cursor that you can use to control the entire screen with just your thumb. You can also go in its menu settings and change what items appear on the assistant menu and remove the ones you don't want. There is also an option to modify the size of the button and its transparency. This assistant menu button has been living on my screen since the day I have discovered it. Did you know that you can play the media on Tab Asset Ultra from 2 different apps on 2 separate separate audio devices. On Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra, you can be watching a movie on Netflix and at the same time play music on a Bluetooth speaker or headphones. To set this up, go in Settings, then in Sounds and Vibration, and here scroll down. You will see this option, Separate App Sound. Turn it on and it will ask you for the apps that you want to play the audio from on a separate device. You can select pretty much any app from your tablet. Next, select the device where you want the audio from the selected apps to play on, the tablet itself or a Bluetooth device. I would recommend selecting apps that you want to play on the tablet, and all the other apps will play their sound on the Bluetooth device connected to the tablet. Then you can start using the selected apps with their sound emitting from the tablet and launch a second app which can be a music app and sound coming from the Bluetooth device at the same time. Now let's talk about one of the productivity features of this tablet. If you want to get out of the daily rut of wasting time on social media and streaming services, you can actually put a daily time limit on them. Once that limit is used up, these apps will shut down automatically and you will not be able to use them until the next day. This is an excellent way of limiting your time you spend online, and you can do this by going in Settings, then in Digital Wellbeing, and here go in App Timers. Tap on these hourglass icons in front of the apps and set the time limit. After you have used that app for that much time, it will be locked for the rest of the day. Did you know that you can use the S Pen to write in any text field, and the Tab S8 Ultra will detect and convert it into the text automatically? This makes using this tablet with S Pen a no-brainer. You don't have to switch between on-screen keyboard or S Pen while working on this tablet. So here is how this feature works. First, you have to make sure that you are using Samsung keyboard by default. Then whenever you have to type into a text field, instead bring your S Pen closer and you will see this icon appear, which means you can simply write with your S Pen and it will automatically be converted into text. Tab S8 Ultra is not a cheap device and you would surely want to keep it safe and would like to have some fail-safes in place in case if it gets lost or gets stolen, so you can recover it. The good news is that you can do that, but the bad news is that it is not turned on by default, so you must do this as soon as possible. First, make sure that you are logged into your Samsung account. Then go in Settings and then in Biometric Settings, and here go in Find My Mobile. Below that you will see another setting called Offline Finding. By default it is not turned on, so toggle it on. What this does is that even if your lost tablet is not connected to the Wi-Fi, it can be found using the same feature on other people's Galaxy devices. Similarly, you would be accepting this feature so your Galaxy device can be used to find other people's devices. Then, if you don't want other people to poke into the location of your lost device, you can encrypt the location and set up a PIN code. Another feature to turn on here is Send Last Location, which will make your tablet to send its last location to the Find My Mobile server before turning off. So even if it runs out of battery and turns off, you will still know its last location through Find My Mobile. Next up, you can also change the color palette of your entire tablet and base it on the colors extracted from your wallpaper. You can do this by two ways. One is when setting up a new wallpaper from your gallery app. It will ask you to select the color palette, which will then be applied to your device, and you can change it later as well by going in wallpaper settings and going in color palette. When you will select a certain palette, it will then show you how it will look in different settings and pages on your Tab S8 Ultra. There is also an option to apply the same color palette to the app icons as well. However, if you don't like the color palettes, you can stick to the original one. You can also set up your lock screen to look differently every time you turn the display on. You can do this by going in Settings, then in Lock Screen, and here go in Wallpaper Services. Select Dynamic Lock Screen, and here you can choose up to 5 categories and download them. Also toggle on the auto update feature at the bottom of the page so new updates will be downloaded automatically. Then every time you will turn on the display, you will see a new wallpaper which keep things fresh on your tablet. The first thing that I want to talk about is also one of my favorite features, which allows us to use multiple apps, more than 3 actually, at the same time in a multi-window environment. First go in Settings and then in Advanced Features, and here go in Labs. Turn on these 3 settings: multi-window for all apps, full screen in split screen view, and show multi-window menu in full screen view. Once you've done this, now you are all set to unleash the multi-window abilities of Tab S8 Ultra. There are multiple ways to launch the multi-window feature, but the easiest way is to tap on this bar on top of any app you want to open in multi-window and then tap on this icon. It will launch the app in split screen view, and you will get the app drawer from where you can select any other app to open in the other half of the screen. Another way is by going to the recent screen and here tap on the app icon and select open in split screen view. But once you have 2 apps open side by side, you can then open the third app as well to take advantage of this huge display. And to do this, we need the help of the edge panels. From here, select your recent apps or open the full app menu to select your third app and then just drag and drop it over the side you want to open it on. Now you have 3 apps open at the same time, and this should be enough. But if you want to stretch the limits and open even more apps, you can do that too in the pop-up view. You can open multiple apps in a pop-up view and minimize them too, so they are there when you need them and out of the way when you don't. Their transparency can also be changed so you can still see your main screen and its content behind them. I had a really fun moment with this feature when I opened Netflix, Prime Video and YouTube side by side and was able to watch my favorite content. The next feature is an incredible camera feature on Tab S8 Ultra, and it is called auto framing. There is a wide angle camera on the front which can come in handy while making video calls. Especially in apps like Zoom and Duo, you can take advantage of this feature. In the camera app, you can switch to the video mode and there is an option to turn on the auto framing feature. This makes the camera track you and your movements. So no matter where you are, it will try to focus on you and bring you to the center by using the real estate provided by the wide angle camera. This is really cool and works in apps like Duo and Zoom. I hope they add this feature to more apps like WhatsApp calls as well in the future. Next, I want to talk about the S Pen that comes in the box with Tab S8 Ultra. The S Pen is also linked to the tablet via Bluetooth, which allows it to carry out some extremely handy functions called Air Actions. Air Actions is a set of features that you can do just by pressing the button on the S Pen and making certain air gestures in front of the tablet, hence the name Air Actions. So for example, you can simply press the button on the S Pen to launch the camera. However, you can replace it with any other app in settings. Then there are gestures for going back, going to home screen and recent screen, and some dedicated gestures for launching the screen right feature and smart select. Now here's the cool part. There are different gestures in different apps that control different things, and you can see all the supported apps here and there's gestures as well. However, for me, by far the most useful implementation of this feature is while watching media. You can have this tablet on a table away from you watching a movie and control the playback and volume from your S Pen using Air Actions. Just make sure you are in range for the Bluetooth connection to stay intact. I've been having real fun with it while watching movies on Netflix and kept changing the volume just for fun. Microsoft Office is also supported, so you can change slides by using the Air Actions. I think more than the phone, this feature comes to life on Tab S8 Ultra and really unleashes the Ultra tag it comes with. The next amazing feature also belongs to S Pen, but for this we have to go into the Samsung Notes. Samsung has come a long way in developing their S Pen ecosystem on their Note devices, and one of the best places where you can see S Pen doing wonders is in the Samsung Notes app because it is fully optimized for the experience. The feature I'm talking about is the convert to text feature that converts your handwriting into text, and the latest iteration of this feature is the best I've seen. It can recognize even the worst handwriting and convert it into text accurately. You can handwrite entire notes here and then just tap this button and convert the whole thing into text and use it as you wish. This makes things easy for people who like to take handwritten notes but would also like to use them as text in some way. They don't have to worry about handwriting and typing separately. Moving on, the next feature that makes the list is the continuity feature, which lets you carry on with the apps from your tablet onto your phone and vice versa. But for this, you must be using Samsung smartphone with this feature enabled. To use it on your Galaxy phone in Tab S8 Ultra, go in settings, then in advanced features, and here you will see this feature called continue apps on other devices. Toggle it on. It will let you continue on to the next device where you left off from the previous one. Right now, only Samsung Internet and Notes apps are supported, so you can carry on with your browsing or note taking from your tablet to your phone and vice versa. You can also copy text and images from Tab S8 Ultra and paste them on your phone, but there are few requisites for this to work seamlessly. As I have mentioned before, both devices need to have this feature turned on, including Bluetooth, and they should be connected to the same Wi-Fi network as well. As you switch from one device to the other, go to the recent screen and you will see the pop-up there. Tap on it to continue your work. This feature provides some semblance of the Samsung ecosystem and how it all works together if you have Samsung devices. You can get the most out of it. Samsung DeX has been around for some years, and now it has come of age. It provides you with the desktop experience on your Tab S8 Ultra. You can turn it on in multiple ways, but the easiest one is from the quick controls. Just tap on the DeX button and your tablet software switches to the DeX mode. You will see that it's a lot different from the usual Android look and works like a true desktop. The apps basically open in pop-up view, which you can switch to full screen mode to. There is an app bar at the bottom of the display from where you can quickly launch apps. You can also keep apps on the home screen. However, the multi-window experience is different here, and you lose all the multi-window functionality where you can launch more than 2 apps at the same time. However, you can still open multiple apps in the pop-up view. The reason DeX is important here is because on a tablet like this, with a 14.6-inch screen and an excellent keyboard cover to go with, you can actually take advantage of DeX mode. I would also go as far as to say that it can be used entirely in DeX mode, because the screen size ratio, placement of front cameras and excellent keyboard cover case makes a strong case for it, and DeX makes the most use out of the large display with its brilliant desktop environment. Moving on, I want to talk about Samsung Flow. And once again, Samsung is giving the benefit to those invested in their ecosystem. Samsung Flow is a Samsung app that lets you to connect your Tab S8 Ultra with your Galaxy phone. Once connected, you can send files, photos, music and Samsung Notes between these two devices. But my favorite feature is the ability to share your phone screen to your Tab S8 Ultra and control every aspect of your phone from your tablet, which is absolutely crazy. With this feature, you can reply to messages, make calls and use your entire phone from your tab, and it sort of becomes your work hub. For this feature to work, once again you must have the Samsung Flow app on your phone as well as on your Tab S8 Ultra. For the first time, you will have to connect the two devices and pass through some verification process, but after that it works automatically and seamlessly. If you pre-order Tab S8 Ultra, then you made the best decision, as it provides you with the best value for money, because you would have gotten the keyboard cover case along with the tablet. And believe me, this is how Tab S8 Ultra is supposed to be used, with the keyboard. The keyboard case comes with two pieces: a back cover that attaches magnetically and also has this built-in stand that has a wide range of movement. The second piece is the keyboard itself that attaches with the magnetic pins. You can also set up to launch DeX mode as soon as you attach the keyboard cover case. This keyboard is of very high quality with backlit keys and very good key travel. The trackpad is spacious and very responsive. It of course does not compare to a laptop keyboard, but works fine for a keyboard cover. The whole thing is easy to set up, and together with the DeX mode unlocks the actual capabilities of this beast of a tablet. With this setup, we have 3 modes of input in one. You can use the touchscreen, keyboard and the S Pen input. If you're looking for a setup like this where you need Android as the operating system, but in a desktop environment with a proper keyboard and S Pen input, this is it. This is as good as it gets. Moving on, Daily Board is an app that lets you to turn Tab S8 Ultra into Google Home. So even when you're not using it, you can set it up anywhere around your home or even on your desk in this mode. In the Daily Board app, there are several slides you can go through. There is a time and calendar view, note-taking slide, SmartThings controls, and a simple wallpaper with date and time. By saying OK Google, you can bring up Google Assistant and use it as you wish. On the top right corner, you get music and brightness controls. In settings, you can also toggle off the slideshow if you just want one screen to show all the time. There are 3 clock types to choose from, and whether you want them to show the daily schedule. You can also turn off any slide you want and turn on the dark mode, which can be useful especially at night. In the labs, there is an option to automatically turn this feature on when charging, which lets you to use it without the fear of draining the battery. Next, another amazing addition here is second screen. If you have a Windows PC, you can connect your Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra and use it as a second screen. You can turn this feature on from quick settings, press the Windows plus K key on your Windows PC and select Tab S8 Ultra from the list of devices. On the tablet, you can also select the mode you want to use the second screen for, whether it is for drawing, gaming or video purposes. For drawing and gaming, it will increase the response, and for video, it will enhance the smoothness to make things more seamless. It is a brilliant feature to have on this tablet. With its huge display, it can come in really handy as a second screen to your PC. And that concludes this video, guys. I hope all these features help you to get the most out of your Tab S8 Ultra. I will keep bringing you more Tab S8 Ultra content, and if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. I will see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.